you come from very different places, obviously, but in a way,
it's the same.
Quite a similar story.
Yeah.
You know, you talk about the ghetto. It would have been a version of that for you that you're describing, I guess. What is interesting to me is you both come from that kind of background where you had to fight to survive, really. And you both discovered you were really good at it.
Yeah.
And now we get to today. You're 37, I think you're 34, and you're unbeaten. You've only lost twice, once to Mayweather when you were very young, never fought him at your peak, and you lost one other fight. You both pretty much have gone through your entire lives winning.
Yep.
And now you're going to fight each other. But only one person can win in Vegas. What does it do to your two legacies? What does it do to yours if you lose? Your unbeaten record goes.
Definitely my unbeaten record goes, and you know, I can't imagine thinking about getting beat. That's not something that I think about.
We've never had it as a professional fighter.
Yeah, but I never like to think about losing. It comes to each and every one of our minds as a fighter. You know, what if? But that's why we train so hard, so that if can deteriorate, you know, in camp. But, you know, a win against Canelo Alvarez, what it would do to my career would put me, you know, on Mount Rushmore.
Yes.
You know, I think I would be one of the greatest fighters ever.
No question.
Yeah.
If you were to lose, what would it do to your legacy?
A fighter never think about lose. Like, always prepare yourself to win, no matter how, no matter what. So I always thinking in my win. I know I have 2 losses, but I give it all there. So, and I'm always focused, always training 100% in what I have in front. And I know I have a very complicated fighter there, but you know, I fought everybody already, every style, and I'm gonna put my everything there, all my talent, my experience, and the best man is gonna win.
I mean, some think you're gonna win, some think you're gonna lose. The ones who think you're gonna lose, they say it's because of the weight issue, that you're having to go up 2 weights. You've never fought professionally at this level, and you're up against one of the all-time greats. They think that if it comes down to you losing, that's why you lose.
Well, I think, you know, Canelo is very skillful. You know, I think they just basing their opinion off of his size. And me personally, I'm not going in this fight looking at his size. You know, he's a tremendous boxer. He's a tremendous counterpuncher. He got good defense, you know. We watched Canelo a lot for a long time, and the reason why he's at the top of the sport is not because of his size. Canelo's always been the smaller fighter going into the ring if you watch his career. You know, he's never been the bigger fighter. You know, only in a couple of fights with like Amir Khan and Charlo and them like that, but for the most part, Canelo's always fighting the bigger guy. So
you see, I'm different.
I see you too.
You see, I'm different than all the other ones.
No, I see you. No, you don't look different. You're nothing different.
I'm different.
Nothing different.
I'm different.
We'll see.
You're gonna see it.
We'll
You
see.
know it.
We'll see. We'll
We're
see.
gonna
So.
see.
Canelo Alvarez, after Coffin and Turkey Alalshik again, saying that Turkey would be unhappy after the fight.
I know Turkey is in your corner,
I
but
promise you.
but look, it's gonna be very difficult. He's gonna be so mad that day. Believe me.
When Canelo told the crowd that Terence could not beat him. Not here, not this time. The fight got hot.
Beat me. Don't worry about it. He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. I think this fight is gonna be in the books of the history of boxing for sure. That's for sure.
Before his fight with Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford made a bold and emotional promise. He would take all of Canelo's title belts with him when he walked out of the ring. No matter how hard the fight got, Crawford agreed that the fight would be tough, but his tone made it clear that he was sure he could win.
Them belts coming with me. They coming home with me. I'm telling you right
You
now.
can see it, but it's gonna be it's gonna be difficult. You take it till you
I'm
go.
taking them. It ain't nothing you're gonna be able to do about it.
There were many problems with getting ready for this fight, which took a long time. Terence Crawford recently talked about why he wanted to fight Canelo Alvarez and why he kept calling his name, stressing that this fight is more than just another challenge, it's his chance to make history.
Canelo out because, like I said, he the last great fighter amongst the era that surpassed us. You know, the Floyd, the Pacquiao, the De La Hoya, able to get those mega fights, you know. So this is my mega fight, this is my moment, and that's the reason why I want to fight an all-time great like Canelo.
Adding to the fire, later, Turki Alalshik announced a big knockout bonus for the fight. This was done to stop fighters from casually running around and make sure fans got a show worth their money.
But I am sure in the end, in the mid of September, we will have one of the greatest fights ever happen in boxing. And I am sure.
And fist up. Turns good. Excellent. Great. Excellent. Wonderful.
Yes, Canelo agreed, adding that boxing fans want movement, not avoidance. During the meeting, Canelo and Turki made it clear that the two fighters do not have to call each other names because they are not YouTubers turned boxes, but real, genuine boxes making history together.
We are two fighters. Yeah, two fighters. True, yeah. No, not YouTuber fighters.
Huh?
Not YouTuber fighters. Yeah.
They need to talk and talk about the fight. They want to say something. The people know we are great fighters. We're not great.
Eddie Hearn, one of boxing's best promoters, gave an honest and respectful review of the highly anticipated fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. While Hearn has long worked closely with Canelo and admires his successes, he was candid when judging Crawford's chances. He conceded that Crawford possesses the skill set, movement, and timing to potentially defeat Canelo even at 168 pounds. Hearn made it clear that this fight really is a 50-50th straw.
Still favoring Crawford in the fight, or has your opinion changed?
No, I mean, I've always favoured Canelo in the fight.
Well, I've heard that you want Canelo to win, but you
well,
feel
of course,
big,
yeah. I like Terence. I've worked a lot with Canelo, and I think just because of what I saw in Riyadh and because of the threat, and he's getting on as well, Crawford, but it's just like the mindset of Crawford. Like, there's no doubt in Terence Crawford's mind that he wins this fight. And when you spend a bit of time with him, you kind of start buying into that. And I guess that's what happened in Riyadh, because I travelled with him to the fight.
While he admitted to picking Crawford based on style and previous performances, he also stated that he wants to see the best version of Canelo in the ring for Hearn, and that the goal isn't to choose sides, it's to have an amazing night of boxing in which both men give their all.
It's a 50-50 fight. I think gun to head, I'm probably picking Crawford right now. But I want Canelo to win. I know he can win for sure, but Terence is going to make it really tricky and awkward for him, and I don't think he's going to like that kind of fight.
So, why is this match different? Canelo Alvarez, the undefeated super middleweight king, has a 63-2 record, including 39 knockouts. He has a reputation for counterpunching, red-hot body blows, and a rock-solid chin, as proven by his wins over Gennady Golovkin, Sergey Kovalev and Caleb Plant. Ronnie Shields gave his honest opinion and expected a competitive and entertaining fight. Nevertheless, when asked to pick a winner, Shields leaned towards Crawford. He stated that Crawford's approach, especially his ability to change stances and fight both orthodox and southpaw, will pose new challenges for Canelo.
Great fight, number one. I think both guys are going to be in great shape, like always. And look, you know, I'm favoring Crawford because I just think Crawford is an awkward fighter, and I think he's going to give Canelo problems just because he switches both ways, and he's going to be running all around the ring like smooth.
Ronnie Shields praised Terence Crawford's overall fighting skills. He stressed that Crawford is more than simply a switch hitter. He is also a superb counterpuncher who knows how to apply pressure while avoiding engagement. Crawford is well known for his counterpunching skills. Also, Crawford is everything a boxer needs to be, and I think he will show Canelo things he has not seen before. Also, Jim Lampley, one of boxing's most famous experts, praised Canelo Alvarez's brains both inside and outside the ring. Lampley stated that Canelo is more than simply a great boxer. He is also a savvy businessman who knows how to navigate the sport at its top level. He thought Canelo is obviously smart. He's smart, and he knows this game better than anyone. Jim. Lampley underlined that Canelo is not only a great counterpuncher and defender, he also has unmatched punch resistance. He remembers the lone legal knockdown, which was not even a clean hit to the head but rather a body shot from Jose Cotto that caused Canelo to slump into the ropes.
Puncher. He's a great defender. He has the most solid punch resistance of anybody in the sport. Nobody's ever knocked him off balance. Nobody's ever really knocked him down. There's only one official knockdown in his career, and it was because he bounced off the ropes, put on his back by anybody. He rides horseback every morning. His legs are the strongest in the sport. You're not going to beat Canelo until somehow over a long period of time Canelo beats him.
While he leans favor Canelo at this point, he admits that this may change as the fight comes. Lampley compared Crawford to the legendary Sugar Ray Robinson, adding that Crawford, like Robinson, has a full tool set. He can fight on the front or back foot, defend or attack, and switch approaches with ease.
But I do think that it's a great fight. Now, I could change my mind when we get closer. Bud Crawford, to me, is a latter-day Sugar Ray Robinson. He has the multiple skills of Sugar Ray Robinson. He can defend or attack. He has a deep inner mean streak that he can employ at any moment in a fight to get what he wants.
If we look at Crawford, he is perfect 41-0 with approximately 30 knockouts throughout several classes. He's a unique skill, switch hitting with a high fighting IQ and perfect timing. His previous fights show that he can dissect opponents. Amir Khan, who has fought with Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, boasts a strong and startling view. Despite being defeated by both guys in his career, Khan feels confident that Crawford has the edge. He predicted Crawford will have an easy night against Canelo. Crawford's movement, footwork, boxing IQ, and elusiveness offer him an edge. If he escapes power shots, he will win. Shane Mosley gave a cautious assessment of Terence Crawford's chances against Canelo Alvarez, citing size and style as major concerns. Mosley thinks the most difficult obstacle for Crawford will be Canelo's physical strength. He added that if Crawford were a pure mover, a boxer who is always on the outside, he might have a better chance, but Crawford is not that type of fighter.
Too big for Crawford. I think that's the reason why if Crawford was a mover like the rest of the fight, then maybe he could have a good chance with Canelo. But I think that being that Crawford is a fighter, that's gonna be dangerous. That's gonna be his problem. He's a fighter. He wants to fight, and he's gonna move a little bit, but his heart is not in moving. So he's gonna have to sit there and fight with Canelo. And if you sit there and fight with Canelo, he's that much bigger than I don't know.
That battling spirit, while great, could be a problem against someone as powerful and naturally bigger as Canelo. Mosley suggested that if Crawford chooses to stay in the pocket and trade shots, he may put himself in great danger. Shane Mosley also voiced his worrying about Terence Crawford's quick ascension through the weight divisions, while praising Crawford's ability, especially at 140 and 147 pounds. Mosley admitted that Crawford's move up to 168 to face Canelo Alvarez has caused some question. He's a great boxer, and I believe he's a great boxer at 140 and 47, and he seems to be decent at 54. Now we're going to 68, where Jones Jr. did not fully back either combatant, but instead outlined that variables that may determine the result. Royce stated that if Canelo's natural size and strength are simply too much for Crawford to handle, then Canelo will likely come out on top. However, if Crawford can absorb the power and adjust to the heavier weight class, Jones thinks Crawford's skill and versatility could lead him to victory. He gave one explanation. If Canelo's size is too much for Crawford, then it's Canelo. But if Crawford can deal with his power, he'll beat him. Most experts agree it may come down to whether Crawford can stop Canelo's strength early or if Canelo can land big counters that shake Crawford's game plan. Terence Crawford has made it clear that he's approaching the Canelo Alvarez fight with full attention and zero tolerance for distractions or excuses. He's not giving attention to outside noise predictions or doubts. His attitude is locked on winning. Listen, how they judge me is useless at the end of the day. We've got to fight, and I'm going to win the fight. It's as easy as that. Can I ask you about if there's any repeat rule with this fight with Canelo? No, it's not. Is that something you pushed for? No, I did. One of the strongest statements of his determination came when he revealed that he personally chose to remove any weight clause from the contract. By doing this, Crawford assured that if he wins, there will be no room for critics to claim the victory was due to a catch weight or special conditions. He wants to beat Canelo on level terms and show that his skill alone is enough to make history.
Do that. Because I want him at his best. I don't want no excuses. I don't want no, reasons why, he didn't feel good or anything. I want him at his best.
Beyond fighting skills, both guys have everything to gain. A Crawford win would make him undisputed in a third weight class and would complete one of boxing's biggest upsets, giving him place among the legends. Teddy Atlas gave a thoughtful and historical perspective, emphasizing that some of boxing's greatest moments have come from fights between a naturally bigger man and a smaller, more skilled opponent. He explained that at first glance Canelo seems to have the upper hand with his size and power, making him the obvious favorite, but then when you look closer the narrative starts to shift. Crawford brings speed, slick movement, high-level ring IQ, and the ability to adapt through the history of this sport, where little guys have been able to beat big guys because you reverse who's got the advantage and the disadvantage. Yeah, the size, the power of Canelo, he's got the then all of a sudden you go back and you say, wait a minute, the other guy's faster, the other guy's craftier, the other guy has more options. Out. The other guy is better. Oh, well, maybe he's got the advantages. Teddy drew an interesting connection between Terence Crawford and Manny Pacquiao, focusing on how both fighters have moved up through multiple weight classes while keeping their dominance. He pointed out that just like Pacquiao, who started at lower weights and climbed all the way to welterweight and beyond, winning titles in 8 divisions, Crawford is now taking a similar road.
I think he wins with everybody, and I agree with the 2 champions. I think he wins right now with the guys that are there. He carries his power well. He's moved up 3 weight classes. This will be the 4th weight class. He's carried his power with him. Punches are born, they're not made. You have power, you carry what? Pacquiao, we forget about a guy like that. He used to be a jockey riding horses, and the next thing you know, he goes bantamweight, he goes lightweight, he goes welterweight, he goes junior. He just kept going up.
Atlas praised Crawford's ability to not only take his power and speed through the divisions, but also keep his skill level sharp against bigger opponents. This jump to face Canelo at 168 pounds echoes what Pacquiao did throughout his famous career, showing that size isn't always the deciding factor when greatness is involved. And what did he do? He carried his power, and he carried his speed. Obviously, as the smaller man, Crawford carries his speed, and he carries his power. And the most important thing is what's inside of Crawford. He's a special guy. He doesn't believe you can beat him. And it's hard to beat a guy who doesn't believe you can beat him. Who do you think takes it? Canelo's power and name, or Crawford's skill and hunger? Drop your view in the comments, like the video, and don't forget to subscribe for all the updates leading up to the fight.